been hooked like 1, 2, 3, you're so done for. Okay, here we go, done for. Bump in the stereo, done for. Done for, done for. 1, 2, 3, you're so done for. Okay, here we go, done for. Bump in the stereo, done for. Done for, done for. What if there never was another, forever undiscovered, who gave his all for everyone who left him in the clutter, but he kept on coming back. Go check up on the facts. Never golden, never walk the flow is treasure on the tracks. Perhaps I could relax if I was hacked up with an action, taking classes how to put myself together from the past. Put this microphone up to my face and let it blast. On the bass, hit a shake and break, window pane glass. Izzy makes moves, flips, loot and gets cash. Hit you with the rhythm that's quicker than whiplash. This is a dispatch, been taking it back route. I'm sick of the bullshit, just itching to act out. Richer than money hungry, just picture me passed out. But calling me cast out, like party that passed out. Blast, blast, kapow, fast forward and now. Down to nothing, up to something, left you lifted off the ground, wow. 1, 2, 3, you're so done for. Okay, here we go, done for. Bump in the stereo, done for. Done for, done for. 1, 2, 3, you're so done for. Okay, here we go, done for. Bump in the stereo, done for. Done for, done for. 1, 2, 3, you're so done for. Okay, here we go, done for. Bump in the stereo, done for. Done for, done for. 1, 2, 3, you're so done for. Okay, here we go, done for. Bump in the stereo, done for. Done for, done for.
How you gonna call this album lovely and not even sing about love? Love. Love.
Drop that mic. Yes.
Woke up this morning drunk from last night. We were just talking about drinking. It feels shitty when you wake up from being drunk last night.
It does. It does. We used to cure that by not going to bed and then going to Old Country Buffet for breakfast.
There you go.
Yeah.
OCB.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
It's not a smart place to go when you're, at least for drunk pasty. Drunk pasty goes after a big plate of bacon and all the milk in the world. I don't know why he thinks that's a good idea.
Yeah, that doesn't make things any better. Hell yeah. I hope you guys liked that song. I like that song.
It's a really good one.
It just puts me in an up mood.
Yes, it's a very positive, uplifting. It makes you want to move.
Yes.
It makes you want to move. And that's, like I said before we played the song, I'm excited to see that one on stage.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
Me too. I can't wait to see it.
You got to carry a mirror with you. Need to watch this.
It is interesting to, as a performer, to watch yourself, because you learn a lot more than you would think by being able to go back and watch like a film or a video or whatever, like you just kind of take mental notes of what you personally perceive as that looks good or that looks bad, so it's interesting to be able to do those things. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
1, 2, 3, you're so done for.
So that song was just released. Just before you showed up earlier today, we got the album cover.
Yeah.
And it's on your arm.
I got the final version and I got the tattoo by the same person.
Both done by our good friend,
the Minnesota Menace.
Yes.
Sketch Luke Brickley.
Well, he's going to be on the show at some point too. I've been on him about this for a while.
He should.
Yes. I think now, especially.
He's so much fun, man.
Yeah.
I always have a good time.
I was hoping. I was like, maybe he gets off and he'll come up with you. I was hoping. Maybe. That'd be fun.
We finished earlier today, so that would have been fun though. Really. But yeah, he's I think he had some other things he had to do, otherwise that could have been a possibility. I'm always down to have the homies ride, man.
Yeah.
When we can get together, the more the merrier, you know what I mean? I love it.
All the time.
The fellowship's where it's at, man. It's all about the hang. That's what my instructor, Paul Peterson from the Minneapolis Media Institute, that's where he worked when I met him, but he's actually kind of a pretty famous guy. Used to be in a band called The Time.
Okay, yeah.
You might have heard of them.
Yes.
Or he worked with another artist named Prince.
Of course.
He was his bass player for a few years. Purple Rain era.
Very nice.
So yeah, very, very talented musician, but that's his thing. Like it's all about the hang, the the camaraderie, being buddies, you know.
Mhm.
That's what this whole thing's really all about. So I like having my friends around, man.
It's good. It's good.
It is good. I don't like it when my friends try to flex on me, though. You know what I mean? You ever had your friends try to flex on you like that? Like, just try to pull something over on you and then act like you're the bad guy because they did something that wasn't appropriate or that they said they weren't going to do. You know what I mean? And then they're like, well, you're mad at me. We're supposed to be friends. Like, yeah, you just fucked me over, dude. Like, yeah, no, we're not that good of friends, obviously. You know, they get all huffy and storm out of your house and slam the door. I don't like that. But it happens to me quite a bit. Has anybody ever done that to you, Pasty White?
I'm sure it's happened. I mean, I'm pretty jaded from being walked on and fucked over quite a few times.
You probably don't get too heated too easy, though, do you?
Not anymore. I used to live in my emotions a lot. I'm a Cancer. It's real easy for me to live in my emotions.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. One day, I think it was probably around the time I had my kids. I just flipped that switch, and I'm like, I live life.
The Zen man.
Yeah.
I just couldn't see you getting really too bent out of shape about too much.
I can be
Do you throw things?
in the words of strategy.
I can
Sometimes
see you
I can,
throwing something.
Not so much.
No?
No, I try not to.
Do you punch walls?
No.
Uh-oh.
Kirsten over here is a little bit guilty of that. Sometimes. I don't know.
That's funny. Okay, I'll stop with
I
that.
just
I'm sorry.
I feel like I get a lot of my self out when I podcast, even if I'm not saying a whole lot. I talk a lot more on B6 podcast, obviously. Here, this isn't about me. This is me hosting a space for you guys to tell your story.
Hell yeah.
And I like it like this.
I'm thankful for things like this, really. I mean, this is the first real interview that I've done about this new album. Very first one. So that makes me feel good. Thank you for having me.
Making it with me.
Hey, you made it with you.
And
you're the one who invited me.
Well,
You did.
you even listened to the last episode and you showed up. I always worry. I worry I'm a very awkward and not good at this on my own, I guess. But I'm not on my own. But I don't know.
You know,
I'm in a place.
That's right there, though.
I'm trying to
Pasty.
find it, though.
That's kind of some of the things that I'm trying to talk about. Was just what you said right there. When people don't show up, you feel a certain way, right?
Mm.
You know how many times I've been stood up when people said they were going to come through for me? Like how many different times I've been just put in situations where I had to make up for something that somebody just decided they didn't want to show up for. I know how that feels, and it's not a good feeling.
Mm.
Nobody wants to feel that way.
Right.
So my challenge to everybody out there is to be better than that and follow through with the commitments that you make and show up wanting to be there and wanting to be a part of it. And I think that everybody's going to have a better time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I don't want people feeling sad and questioning whether they're the cool person or not the cool person because some asshole doesn't show up for their commitment. You know what I mean? That's not fair. Why should you have to question how cool or the quality of your personality
Right.
because somebody else is a douchebag? That's a lot of what is wrong with everybody today. And when I say everybody, I might not mean you specifically, but as a collective, people are kind of fucking...
It's pretty easy to generalize
Today
humanity.
it's messed up, dude. Like, people just aren't... They're not satisfied with anything.
No.
And that's just not really the way things work.
I think that's the digital world we live in, and it's only going to get worse.
I hope not, man. I think we can... I don't know what we can do, but together we can do anything.
Yeah. Hey, in 30 years, we'll all be androids anyway.
I won't. I refuse,
Not
man.
signing in for that?
I'm too much of a rebel. I've always been the guy that just, they're going to have to chase me down and cut me open, I guess, because I ain't playing that shit. No. I'm a little too independent for that.
Yeah.
I have a hard time being told what to do, man. And I don't know that I've really put that out of like, as my personality so much as I really am.
Do what I want.
Super
do
defiant.
it my way.
Yeah.
Party all night. Sleep all day.
You got it.
Hell yeah.
But I was like, I don't know if they made this up, but it was called obedience defiance disorder. Like, I was diagnosed with that as maybe a 16-year-old, I think. Like, I was grown pretty much, and they're like, oh, this kid's got a problem. Like, yeah, no shit, I got a problem. You guys are retarded.
You're my fucking problem.
But they called it obedience defiance disorder, and I've always just kind of like, in my head, been like, you fuckers made that shit up. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just a thinker. and I don't just do what everybody tells me to do. And that's what's wrong with me, is I have my own fucking
It might be what's
mind.
wrong with you, but that's also what makes you you and what drives your music.
That could be. I'm still trying to figure it all out.
I don't think there's a lot of musicians out there who are all 100% in the mind. I think everybody's got some kind of an issue, and that's what drives them to that release. Because you can't really find the same thing anywhere. I've done therapy. It ain't the same as writing a song, and I can do a lot more good writing a song than I can do sitting on a fucking
Hallelujah,
couch.
amen to that, dude. I'm with you all the way on that shit. There's more power in music than I think anybody has ever given it credit for.
It's huge.
Yes.
And that's where we just did it for ourselves. People maybe listen. No, I just want to do it because it feels good. It makes me feel good. Get on stage and shut off. That's the best feeling you get when you're not existing for that half hour, 45 minutes you're on stage. It's just, you're gone. It's going. Everything's in motion, and it's a golden moment.
There's nowhere else to get that feeling.
Nope.
It is incredible. It is absolutely incredible. Because you know why? You're stress-free, dude. You're actually free of all stress when you're on the stage.
Yep.
That is the most incredible thing that I've ever experienced in my life. And I keep going for it over and over and over, man.
It's addictive. It's that rush.
And that is my addictive personality. I want it to get bigger and better and longer, and I don't know. There's
a lot of people say music's their drug, but for me, it's to me, it's like a religion.
It's my life.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other way to describe it. People listen, hopefully, to my music, and they should know something about me, because most of it is based on some experience or something that I went through or something that hurt me or made me happy or made me feel something. And it's all real, though. I mean, I'm not out here making shit up. That's for sure. And especially with this album in particular, like, it hopefully shows that I'm a human being, and I think that maybe that reality
did you not get
distorted.
a lot of that out in Colorado? Because I know here, like, everybody who listened to your music and came to your shows, like, knew you in a very personal way almost.
So for me, Colorado's been
It was
interesting.
very family.
I haven't really put myself out there in the community or in the I haven't put myself out there in Denver. I mean, yes, my social media says I live in Denver. I do. But as far as my music career out there, I've been real cautious and very selective about what I've participated in. Back in Iowa and here in Minnesota, I don't think I ever said no to anything, to tell you the truth. I'm not sure that I ever turned down a gig. And
unless you had prior...
If I was booked for something else, sure, yeah.
We tried for quite a while to get you on the Hall Blaze.
You're right.
Yes.
I mean, I was very busy the entire time that I lived here. That is for sure. And then for the last 2 years I was here, I went to school. So I stopped doing, not totally stopped, but pretty much stopped doing shows at that point. After I graduated, it was only maybe 2 months, and I moved to Colorado. So out in Colorado, there's a venue called the Roxy Theater, and a couple friends of mine own that venue. And so the first year that I was there, I probably spent, and forgive me for talking money, but this is real shit. Like, I probably spent $15,000 on shows, just doing, like when Chris Calico would come to town, when Yellow Wolf came to town, when Tech Nine came to town, and
all of them buy-on shows then?
I spent a lot of money to do those shows.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I think that's my least favorite thing about
they were all great experiences, as far as like the shows that I've done in Denver have been, 500 to 1,000 people every time, and my goal is always to give CDs away and as many as I can get in their hands. So that particular opportunity, like, it was fine, and those are things that sometimes an artist has to do to get a start somewhere, because I haven't done a lot out there. I've toured out there maybe 2 or 3 times prior to moving out there, so it was a brand new market for me. But after doing that for a couple of years, I just kind of decided that I was going to pull back and not do that at all anymore, because once I started thinking about how much money I had actually spent over all these years doing those things,